Well, welcome to Dogman's Mountain Workshop, where the cats now outnumber the dogs. That's right, man. Got 5 of those things hanging around and 2 dogs. So, but we're not changing the name to Cat Man. Anyway, let's get to it this morning. Or let's just back up. Yesterday morning, I ran to town. I got 250 feet of 12-2 Romex. I also picked up 15 feet of 10-3 Romex. Why only 15 feet, you ask? Well, that stuff's like $99 for 15 feet. And actually, I'm not going to need any more than that because we're at this stage where I can choose and do what I want. So I'm going to run this. I plan on putting an air compressor right here in this corner. I'll possibly box it in, not sure. But we'll just run the outlet for the air compressor because I plan on getting a pretty good size one. We'll run that right here. I've got all the sheetrock taken off, all the screws out of the walls, and this big pile of nasty going in the trash in Skylation. We also got this sheetrock. Some of it's good, some's not. But we're going to leave it right there for now. I'm just going to load all this up in the truck. It's probably tomorrow and take it down to the transfer station and dump it. Anyway, for the project for today, well, I'm going to finish putting these hurricane ties up. I got the proper nails yesterday. Been putting those up. But we're going to skip that for the first thing in the morning. What I've been doing is coming out here in the heat of the day and nailing 3 or 4 of them up and then going back in and cooling down. I can do that because I'm the boss. So I'm going to have a short workbench here. Right here. So I'm going to make that approximately 36 inches high, and then about 48 inches high I'm going to have outlets. So we're going to run some Romex and put several outlets in each wall. This one barely has any. Well, I don't see any on it. There's one way down there. And with the existing Romex that was wired to outlets, yeah, I have to figure out what's going on. I mean, they ran all that for lighting. So I'm going to be adding some more down to the bottom. Now, when I get to where this undecided what we're going to use it for room, I'm going to be adding plenty of outlets in here because this is most likely just going to be a little area I can come cool off, have an AC in here or whatever, podcast studio, whatever I decide to do. But we need lots of outlets for computers, television possibly. So I'm going to put an outlet up high for the television because I hate running that cord down and then having to hide it and make it look good. So let's put an outlet up here, right here centered on the wall for a 75-inch television. I seen that at Walmart yesterday for $498. 75-inch. I couldn't even pick that up. But that's probably what I'm going to do. There'll also be a TV out here, maybe up in the corner somewhere where I can catch the latest episode of Washita or Arkansas Mountain Living. I don't know. If you check that channel out, that dude's cool as hell. Anyway, I cannot find my spader bit, so this is all I have. I hope it works. It barely fits in here, but I'm not going to waste my whole day. I'm going to dig through this electrical bag. I'm not going to waste my whole day looking for something. I'm just going to use what I got and get it done. So the goal is today to get all the wiring run, and at least most of it, get some outlet boxes hung, and there will also probably be a workbench from we got to leave a little space for an air compressor. So probably start it from here, and then this one will end here. We'll leave this open for an air compressor, and we'll just run a workbench till about where that plumbing line is. That's where there's going to be a sink, and we'll go from there. And workbenches I can add later, but I got to think into the future where I may want these and where I may need outlets. There also will be an outlet in the floor. I'll probably utilize that hole for where the toilet was, but I don't have that stuff today. We'll run conduit, and then I need outlets in this interior wall. So, and gotta make sure I run wire for lighting, ceiling fans, I'm going to run a separate one for ceiling fans because we will have several in here. Probably 3 fans here and 1 in there. And man, anything that I can think of, because I'm having this building spray foamed. You're saying, well, that's going to leave mold. Man, you got to do your research. I'm going to be using open cell. Okay, where you get mold is if you're spraying that crap on a wet building or there's a lot of moisture going on in there. This is going to be a wood shop, man. There's going to be a lot of sawdust flying. It ain't going to be moist in here. On top of that, I'm using open cell, which is very forgiving for moisture, and I'm not putting walls on. Okay, I'm going to be leaving them open. The only place that's going to have coverings is perhaps over the workbenches. I'll have pegboard. And if I need to hang anything on the walls, I'll probably cut a sheet of plywood. But other than that, man, this is a shop. It doesn't need sheetrock. It doesn't need walls. We're leaving it open. So that will give it plenty of ventilation. Also up here, I'm going to be installing a exhaust fan, a louvered exhaust fan, either on this side, well, most likely that side. A louvered exhaust fan to pull out the humidity and things. We're going to handle it. But it saves me a lot of time, and it really don't cost any more money to get it spray foam. So let's quit yakking. Let's get to work. I'll start by drilling some holes. We'll put you on time lapse, or maybe I won't. All right, drilled me a hole through this. We're going to start over. We're going to come up through here, down, then I'll go up and on over. We got 48-inch holes here. This thing barely fits in here, man, but it fits. I'll get these drilled. You always want to make sure you put them back far enough if some yahoo in the future tries to put a nail in, ain't going to hit it. And you can put them metal plates over, but I put them back far. I'm not worried about it. You'd be there. Oh man, come on. This isn't the best bit in the world. Be here all day if I was putting them plates in. Double stud here. Now I went and marked all these because I want them to look good. That's how electricians do. They want to make sure they're all, you got to make it look somewhat professional, even though it ain't. All right, so this one, let's go from this side. Oh, this is where we're just going to do this here for now. I'm going to have an outlet. We'll see. Probably have an outlet here, an outlet here, and the workbench is going to end here. So there's plenty of outlets, probably overkill, but better to have enough than not enough. And then there's also these two on the bottom. So if I want to plug in a shop vac or something, I can plug them in under the workbench. Or if I got some kind of gadgets under there that requires electricity, then I got electricity under there. Always, you can't have too many outlets. And I have plenty of room on this service panel for lots of breakers. So that's gonna work out good. So I don't want to short myself on outlets. So let's get this first row run and we'll be good. It's pretty dark in here right now. Sun isn't fully out. Okay, this is where the last outlet will be. Yes, let's go ahead and run this dude in there. This wire goes like crazy. Hey, Mickey Mickey, you're so fine, you're so fine. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Now that's stuck in your head for the rest of the day. I know, I'm terrible. That's just how I roll, man. Hey, Mickey, you're so fine, you're so fine. Hey, Mickey. Oh, hey, Mickey. I'd have had the right bit. We'd have been fine. Like pulling wire first thing in the morning. Yes, sir. And that wire is not cheap anymore. No, it isn't. Alright, so let's come down here. Need more. Gotta keep it tidy, man. Gotta keep it tidy. Also, I have to keep in mind you're going to be putting in a workbench, and then when you're putting in a workbench, and it's going to be about here, so there's no electrical in the way of anything I'll be nailing, putting screws in. You need to keep that in mind if you're putting a workbench in a existing shop that you didn't build. All right, so that's going to go down yonder. We'll probably send her down right here. Let's see. Yeah, I can come through there. Just gotta be careful not to hit that wire. Come through here, come back up. And that should be plenty right there. You wanna make sure you don't rob yourself of wire. And then we're gonna have an outlet here, so I'm gonna pull me out a bunch. Let me feed this back in. So I forgot to compensate for the wire we're going to need to put the outlets in. But you don't want to waste a bunch of wire. All right, I'm going to get this done and we'll come back. Well, I lost a little bit of time. I spent about 15 minutes looking for my reading glasses, and well, yeah, that's where they were. Right? You're laughing because you've done it too. So that's 15 minutes looking for a drill bit, 15 minutes looking for reading glasses. Man, I tell you waste much time. Anyway, I got the first workbench run done. This is going to have its own circuit because, you know, a lot of these tools pull a lot of juice. So I've got plenty of room here. So might as well, you know, separate it. This will be on its own circuit. Of course, that'll probably be that whole wall. And then whatever these bottom ones were. Yeah, mine don't look as good as the electrician's, but hey, I don't do this for a living, but it'll work. Got plenty of wire in the boxes. We got a single there, a double there, and a single there. So 2, 4, 6, 8 outlets. Plenty for one workbench. And it's a rather short workbench. Plus we got 2 down below on a different circuit. And man, I don't know if that's the only, I guess that's the only thing on that. But I can redo all this once we get, I'm just leaving them out, then I'm going to write on, well, I don't need to write what that is, it's obvious, but I will write on there anyway because we're going to have several. All right, a couple of years ago when I was doing these DIY videos, I said, people would always ask me, well, why don't you wear a tool belt? And I'd tell them I hate tool belts. But the truth was, I was too damn fat. It wouldn't fit on me. And now it's too big. I can't get it too tight. I still got a little room, but it's falling off me. So, yeah, see, you can buy things years in advance if you plan to lose weight. Yeah, now my britches are falling down because this is weighting down my britches. And, well, all right. All right, first workbench wired. Let's not waste time. I think with this next wire, I'm going to have to go upward. And because I've done this, trying to get through here, the corners, it's a pain in the butt. So I'm just going to go up somewhere in here. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I'll follow what he did. Okay, they went through there. I'll drop down somewhere. Or I may just, yeah, I'm going to follow where he has this one run to, and I'm going to tap into that because that wire's already run. So I'll hang my outlet boxes and I'll just use this circuit here because it's already done. So that's going to be pretty simple. All right. And I figure maybe four outlets here, maybe a double and a couple of singles. I want plenty of them. I'm not going to add any to the bottom down here because there's one way down there. So, all right. All right, I went ahead and ran it all on the same circuit. You can have like up to 12 outlets on a 20 amp breaker. So, you know, the chances are that every one of them are plugged into something that is running at once is going to be, that's not going to happen. So rather than waste a bunch of wire, I just continued. Now what I had to do was get up top here, and I still got to attach that. I had to cut out a little sliver on the end of that board, and then I ran it through the top there. I'll secure that down better. I don't foresee anything else being stuck up there, so it's going to be in a place where no nails or anything's going to hit it. So that's the only thing I have to. The likelihood that I'm going to come up 10 feet and put a nail in and hang up a shovel or something is unlikely on the outside, but otherwise it's all right. And not as pretty as theirs. I see how he's done now. He's kind of smoothly, you know, came in. I didn't really do that. Hey man, I'm saving wire and it'll work. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 outlets above where the workbench will be. And that will be good for this end. What they've got here, I was looking at this, they've got an outlet, and I guess they had this hooked up to, there was a light or something, because this is switched. So I think the way they have it is that outlet will only be powered if the switch is on. So I'm going to redo this. I don't want it that way. That was probably for the bathroom fan and the bathroom light. And I'm just going to have probably a dozen puck lights up here. Them things are very bright. They do the job. I don't know exactly where I'm going to put them. But we will have some electrical run up here to take care of that. They're very low wattage. So one line. Actually, I'm going to have one line for just the shop area. And then there'll be a separate circuit for the podcast studio or whatever it is I'm going to be. We're just going to call it the chill room, man. It is very humid today. We got some rain last night, which made it worse. I'm starting to get, but it's not unbearable. Once you get sweaty and your shirt gets wet, you stay cool. So now I didn't buy any breakers or any of that yet. I'll do all that when I do my electrical. As I said in the Dogman video last night, I ordered a T-post puller. I am pulling up all of this yard except for the one little stretch that encloses Rooster's yard. That way I got a straight shot. I can dig a trench with my backhoe all the way to this shop. And I don't need this. You know, it served its purpose. And Lily passed away, so there's no more need for this yard. Tilly does not leave the property, so no need for it. Some people have said, why don't you use your tractor? Let me tell you something. I worked at a ranch and pulled plenty of T-posts and put in plenty of T-posts. Here's how you have to do it with a tractor. You get up there, you pull your bucket up, you get a chain, you wrap it around the T-post. You put it on, you hook it to your bucket, you pull it up. Little effort, right? Then you got to get back off the tractor, undo the chain, get on the tractor, move it over to the next T-post, hook the chain back up, pull it up. T-post puller, I can go to each one, 10 seconds, pull them up. You move on to the next one. I ain't got to mess with no chains. I mean, you have had to done that work in the past to know that a tractor, unless you have two guys, a tractor's a waste of time. You're going to be eating up 10 times more time using a tractor than you would with a T-post puller. A T-post puller was 50 bucks, okay? I can also pull them with the T-post driver. I've made videos on that, but it's a little more, it takes a little longer, maybe about 30 seconds, but you don't even need a T-post puller. You can use a T-post driver, yeah? There's little ribs on, I got videos on that. So yes, using a tractor, no, man, no. You must have never pulled T-post before by yourself with a tractor, because that just, it doesn't make sense. Plus, how am I going to get the damn thing up in here where there's a hill? You know, it's just a pain in the butt. Now, I will need the tractor to pull those big posts there where the weather vane's on. I don't know if y'all can see it, but those wooden posts, they're in concrete. I'll need it for that. But other than that, I'm going to whoop through that thing and get it done with a T-post puller. So, all right, now I got to figure out my next move, and we got this part wired. And I need to go ahead and write on here. I mean, it's obvious what it is, but when they spray foam it, I'm not going to see that, you know. I'm not going to see what's going on, so I need to get it done. And I'm going to go ahead and put I think I'm going to wait on putting the outlets in. There's no need for that yet. I don't even know if I'm going to use that or not. We'll see. All right, let me figure out what I'm going to do next. All right, I see what's going on here. We've got a line here. Runs through here. This is giving power at the switch. And from this, he's got this going up. Yeah, going up here. And then it goes just to that light. So we already have power with a switch power for the lights. All I need to do when I run my lights is run another line through the middle here. Branch them off to wherever I need them. So the power is already there for that, and it's already got a switch. I'm going to replace that with a triple switch, but we've got that. Then he has another line, as you can see up there. Well, that's switch 2, isn't it? But there's another line that goes back here. Kind of hard to trace. It did a good job at concealing them. And then it comes down here for this outlet. And then that one continues on to that outlet. As far as I know, that's the only outlets in this room, which is not good. Unless there's some, I don't see any lines going behind this shower. So there's 2 outlets powered off of this. Man, that's a lot of wire for 2 outlets. So I can add a couple outlets here, another one over here, and continue this on for the room just on that one line. That's going to be fine. Then I'm going to probably run an additional one in here. And then we need to run one for lights in here as well. I want the lights in here to be separate. I want to have a switch in here probably. Yeah, we won't have it there. We'll have a switch right here when you walk in. So that part of that's done. The spray foam isn't going to matter. I'm still going to be able to run wire up in there. So I'm not real worried about that now. What I'm worried about now is I want to get whatever needs going through the walls done now, so when they spray foam, that's done. And I'm going to try to think ahead. Maybe there's something I might add later that might need electrical, and my microphone's not on, but this has a good microphone. And I just noticed there's a piece of sheetrock up there I got to take off. I don't know why they would put that there. What I heard is when they repoed this building, they was running in here, pulling sheetrock off the walls, and I could see they had some here because there were some screws I had to take out. You can still see there's some screws there. And they were taking back their sheetrock. I wish they would have let them finish, because then I wouldn't have a pile of it over there and a pile of insulation. They could have kept that. So there's not a lot here to do. Now I think I'll go ahead and run that 10-3 wire now. Might as well, because it's going right there too. So, alrighty. pink. This ain't cheap stuff, man, it ain't. Alright, once we get this stuff wired, we're committed. But I'm pretty sure that's where I want my compressor. It doesn't matter. I'm not spending any more damn money on the wire, and is these holes gonna be big enough for it? They are not. Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, I gotta get a bigger drill bit, man. Probably better turn the mic on, huh? That. I'm not used to this. Bigger bit, my anus. I'll just waller these out. You know, that's all you gotta do is waller them out. I like that word waller, don't you? There's just some words in the English language that you wonder how they come up with, like smelter. I'm going to get that ore out of the ground and I'm going to take it to the smelter. I just like saying it. I don't know. Ticket. Let's go get us a ticket. Say that 10 times quick. Ticket, 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 ticket. Sounds you sound ridiculous. That ought to do her. Yeah. Waller. I like to waller around in it. You ever wallered around in mud? We'll go down to the smelter and waller around in the ore. I'd buy a ticket to that. Yes, sir. Watch that wire. That's fun as Hades, I tell you. Now, let's see how my wallering, skills, did. You know how I know that this is going to be enough wire? Because, well, it's going to be close though, because I'm going up. Yeah, it's going to be close. That's why we'll dry fit it. See, I know how to waller. I wasn't lying to you. I can waller some holes. I wasn't always old. Well, you can't miss this wire. I might have the spray foam colored that same beautiful pink color, huh? What the hell are they gonna make it pink for? Most wire has different colors. You'll have your 12-2 is gonna be yeller. 14-2 is gonna be white. It's just the standard. I think in England or somewhere it's different. I got more wallering to do there. Dude, if you're gonna waller it right the first time. This has 3 wires in it, or 4 wires in it instead of 3. Got 2 hots, the ground and the neutral. Alright, you gotta waller that again. No. It's tight, but it's going. We ain't got too far to go with it. I'm going to put the box right there. Maybe I got to decide if I want it low or high. Maybe in between. That's what I say. Let's do it in between. When you ain't sure, just do it somewhere in the middle. Ah, that did not feel good. I'm going down to the country. I don't know the words. Dude, if you don't know the words, don't even start singing the song, because you're going to get that, stuck in these people's heads, and you'll never make it. This is one of the big reasons having this shop is going to make my life nicer, is looking for tools. I got room. I can say, hey man, there's that, and there's that. You would think in a little shop the way I have it organized, but no, because I have a bad habit of not putting a tool back after I've used it. So you can have as organized as much as you want, but it don't matter if you're not going to put the damn tool back where you got it. And I don't. Oh, this is not easy. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you're how organized you are. If you don't put it back where it goes, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I bet you guys have watched funner things than pulling wire. I'm gonna tell you, it's not only boring and hard to, or bad to watch, but it ain't no fun doing it either. I should have wallered more. It's too late to waller more because you done got your wire shoved through it. And the wallering part is, you're beyond that. Oh, you didn't get anywhere, man. All right, so I need to come to this one. I won't make you guys watch that whole thing. Oh, wallering. Looks like a big old pink snake. Turns out 15 feet just wasn't enough. But that's all right. I'm going to make it work somehow. Because you got to leave plenty here. Because you got to strip this dude. You've got to have a ground. You've got to have your neutral. You know, and it has to be, you got to leave yourself enough. So it only came to here. I don't dare go any further. Because, but I'll get a compressor. I'll figure it out from there. If we have to put a junction box here and hardwire it in, we will. But at least we'll have the juice already run. So because I don't know what I'm getting, I haven't bought an outlet box for it. I probably should, because I can't get it in there once they spray foam. But I don't have a date set on this spray foam yet, so I'm probably not going to call him back until I am 100% ready. And that means getting ceiling fan things set up here and all that. I'm not going to put ceiling fans up, but I want to get the, you know, the little spanner deals that run. I should have picked them up yesterday too, but I guess I'll have to go back. But all right, I'm going to get off electrical for now, and I'm going to work on some more of these hurricane ties. But I guess that's all we'll have for this video. That's too boring. Anybody can hammer nails, and that's basically all it is. But, you know, probably don't need them, but I have a better, you know, you just feel better having them. And these nails, trust me, you're not pulling them nails out once you put them in. Them things, these are these, and they're not cheap either. These are these hot dipped, you know, smooth shank connector nails. That's what they're made for. And it's not hard. I mean, they have a tool that you can drive a 6-inch screw up in through there instead of doing the hurricane ties, but I'll probably never do this again in my life, man. So why buy that tool? This doesn't bother me. And yeah, there's 10 holes for nails. No, I'm not putting 10. There'll be somebody. You only put 6 nails in, and there's 10 spots. It's not gonna work because you only put 6 nails in. Bull butter. It's gonna work. Okay, there's multiple of them. I got one over there. I put in my screws. That one won't work. We'll take that back out and do it right. All right, well, I'm gonna go in and rest for a minute. I ain't used to this kind of work, man. I just ain't. And if you're wondering how I power stuff in here, I got my little, I've had this running all morning. It's still at 100%. But I got a jackery, a big jackery coming, and a couple other solar things I'm working on. And I'll be sure to show them if I get them. But hey, we got some progress done. We got these wired up. We got our workbench outlets and got the 10-3 run for the air compressor or whatever else I may need over in this corner. I don't know. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Happy trails.